Hi, Ashton. How are you?
Good. I feel like we've talked before, have we not?
No, never.
Cool. What's up?
But I did do my college thesis on Moonlight, so maybe you felt like the
I
energy.
feel, I feel the energy. That's what it is. Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen that movie so many times.
Word. I'm sure.
Um, so you play RZA,
Yes.
obviously, in Wu-Tang, and he's the creator and the executive producer. What has it been like, telling his story and, the story of Wu-Tang?
Um, it's been. It has. I can say that I like never really saw myself doing like a music um biopic or like stepping into something like this as early on in my career. Um, but it has been special. It's been a ride, man. I think that the work and the characters and the stories that we've been able to tell on the show have been able to resonate with a lot of people outside of music. Um, so feeling, it's you feel proud to be a part of something that's touching people and transcending, waves, and yeah, it's been amazing. I feel like each season has been a little different, in terms of like the story arc, but at the same time, you can appreciate both for what they're doing, But it's been a ride, man. It's been 2 seasons. We took a 2 year hiatus because of quarantine, and coming back after those 2 years, it felt good to be back on set.
And you're from California, right?
I am LA boy.
Which has its own rap scene.
Right.
Like West Coast, I think I did that right. It has its
Got
own
it.
rap scene, and some think, it rivals the East Coast. Like, what is it like to do a show where you're playing like a pioneer of East Coast rap and like a show that's so East Coast?
Yeah, I mean, I honestly like never really thought about that. I've always been somebody who's been very into like East Coast music, like especially like in high school, like or just the East Coast. Always have wanted to go out there. Always have respect for the East Coast. Also, I don't think nowadays people are on that rivalry thing. You know what I'm saying? I think it's pretty like transparent. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I feel like it's just me putting on another character. Stepping into another character, another world, another life. I grew up like favoring movies like Juice and shit. You know what I'm saying? And so like for me, it was like, yo, like this is like my shit to like tap into that. Although it's like different, you know. Just like being in that era of like '90s hip hop, '90s New York. Like '90s New York was always so fucking cool to me from the outside looking in. And so to be in it is cool, man. And then it's obviously deeper than just that. We're like this is particular to Wu-Tang Clan and their legacy, and portraying this person to the best of my ability. You know what I'm saying? And so yeah.
Yeah, I just have to ask real quick, how do you do the voice? Because I was watching and I was like, he is like nailing the voice. Like, how did you do that?
That's crazy, bro. Did you watch season 2?
I watched the first episode, yeah.
Okay, cool. So that was really important to me this season. I feel like it was something, and I'm so happy that that's coming through. Because it was really important to me. I really wanted to. That was something that I spent a lot of time on. I didn't want to overdo it, but I do know that RZA has a particular speech like pattern, or like I don't know, like I don't want to call it like a yeah, let's call it like a just like a way of speaking, you know. And yeah, I felt like if I was going into season two, knowing that these characters were growing, it was the perfect time for me to to tap into like the growth. I'm not sure how to like answer the question of how I got into the voice, but I do know how RZA talks after spending like so much time with him. And so it was a matter of, yeah, like hearing myself, like recording myself, you know, like playing it back, like playing videos of RZA talking, like,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
like recording myself, playing it back. Okay, now like let me like practice these lines while doing it. You know what I'm saying? So I could be on set and be comfortable enough to not focus on that part of it only. Because what I could have done was gotten so focused on that where like everything else just like falls to the wayside, you know. And I wanted to add on, not like hurt myself. So I feel like season one, I went in with the intention of trying to hone in on his spirit, who he has, who he is as a person, like the energy that he carries around with him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Which
definitely.
yeah, and so like it's just like adding on, like building on to the shit. And I think like thank you for that. Like that means the most.
Yeah, of course.
Um,
Well, they're telling me I gotta wrap, so I gotta go, but this was really awesome. Thank
yeah,
you.
thank you, man, for sure. See you around.
See you. Hi guys, I'm Brianna. I'm from the Nocturnal. How you doing?
What's up, Brianna?
I got to watch the first episode of season 2.
Nice. Okay, I'm not in that.
Yeah, I know.
Goodbye. Good night. Nice to meet you.
So like Marcus, you said you're not in episode 1. So like, tell us what we can
I don't
expect
think
from your character.
none of us are in that one. Right?
No. Well.
But it's all good. What was the question? I'm sorry.
Yeah, tell us what we can expect from your character then throughout the season.
Ooh.
No spoilers. No spoilers.
Okay. All I'm gonna say is y'all gonna learn why they call him Power. I'll say that.
That's it. That's all I get.
That's all you get.
All right.
You said without giving nothing away.
Yeah, but all right. We'll leave it there.
Okay.
Yota, this is your first season being part of the cast. Like, what is it like to come into something that kind of already has a dynamic going? Like, what is it like stepping into your role?
I think it's challenging coming into this group of talented individuals. I mean, each one of them, even if they're just stepping into acting, if they're just first. I mean, everyone's coming with such a specified energy and passion and drive for what they do. And that's seen obviously through the first season, but it was challenging. You have to sort of do hard work and research to get to that level and to reach the standard that they've already built, and to maintain where you are, and your level of choices, character, breakdown, and how you process that. You want to maintain that throughout. So yeah, it was challenging, but I'm up for the challenge.
This is like totally off topic, but what is on your lapels?
Right here? Everyone's been asking me, so I'm gonna come closer. It's just sort of like this 70s Gucci campaign they did, but it's sort of like a flower.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gucci, very, Dapper Dan is very New York.
Absolutely. Yeah. And shout out to Melissa Vargas. I mentioned that before. She came up with such great ideas and fashion for the season, and it was awesome because she and I were talking about him most often.
And you're, I guess, 70s New York, but you guys are in 90s New York. Like, what is that like in this really distinct era of hip hop where you're playing these like New York icons? That's a question for all of you guys.
I mean, it feels like I'm really tapping into. My mom's family's from Staten Island. And so it really feels like, for me personally, that I'm tapping into that kind of story and that kind of history. And well, oftentimes with my cousins or my aunts, my uncles will say to me after they watch the show and my mom too, is like, yo, that's what I I remember seeing that stuff as a kid. I remember seeing that stuff as a teenager. Like that's what y'all are doing in Staten Island, how y'all are running around. Like that was my childhood. So for me personally, it's a very kind of empowering and uplifting kind of feeling to embody a piece of my family's history.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I'm from Brooklyn. So for me, you know, the 90s was popping. You remember the 90s. The 90s was a good time. So in doing the show, the music, the fashion, just like all the like, you know, like even the little, I don't know, like the little references from the 90s were real nostalgic for me. But I think what was something that always happens for me, or something I always think about, is like, yo, like imagine like what that moment was like hearing Wu-Tang for the first time. Like imagine popping on that CD and you hear you hear the kung fu shit. And you know what I mean? Like that's some shit you ain't, it's like, what the fuck is this shit? You know what I mean? And that must have been, it's for something like that to come out of the 90s was iconic as fuck, because who else was doing that? I feel like if something like that would have come out today, yes, it'll be unique, but it was still almost, it would feel a little expected. And, you know, it kind of goes with what else is out there. You know what I mean? I feel like, you know, a lot of us are trying to be different. But for that to come out then, man, that was some shit.
Julian, I want to ask, what's been the most exciting part of telling the
My bad, I don't know if
okay, I gotta do this quick. Okay, Julian, what has been the most exciting part for you about telling the story of Wu-Tang?
Oh man, I mean, I think Marcus kind of nailed it on the head. I mean, like that 90s kind of culture for me has been the most exciting kind of thing. I mean, when I was in high school, we had it feels like we had a Wu-Tang kind of resurgence, exciting kind of thing. I mean, when I was in high school, it feels like we had a Wu-Tang kind of resurgence, you know what I mean? Because with Kanye West kind of brought a lot of them on, like Dave Chappelle, you know what I mean? Like the Boondocks cartoon with like
Childish Gambino got his name from a Wu-Tang generator.
Gambino did get his name. Yeah, exactly. So there was a bit of a kind of like a resurgence. So when I was actually a teenager in high school, we were all of a sudden, we were listening to Wu-Tang again, which I think was really fascinating. So for me, that's been the most exciting thing. Like my friends are like, yo, dude, you playing that Wu-Tang show? Oh shit. And they, you know, they my age, and it's the same reaction that they're having that, you know, dudes who are 50 and 60 years old are having. So for me, that's been the most kind of fun, exciting thing. You know what I mean? That I get to do that. Plus, I got to meet the RZA, which is, it's, you know, it's pretty sweet.
Well, guys, this was so much fun. I'm pretty sure that's my time, so I'm gonna let you guys go. But episode 1 looked great. I'm sure when I finally get to see you guys, you do a great job. So thanks so much for this.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi guys, how are you?
How you doing? Great.
How you doing?
I got to watch only the first episode of season 2, which I thought was really great. So I want to ask, how do you guys feel that the second season has differed from the first season?
Sadiq, you're in episode 1.
Putting me on the spot. Good thing I'm ready. Season 2, season 2 is different because, you know, we start working on 36 Chambers, we start working on the music, and the music kind of takes the forefront, whereas I feel like some of the beefing and, you know, selling drugs and territory and all that was kind of at the forefront of a lot of the tensions that existed in season 1. So I think now people are seeing us, you know, finally turn into these characters that they were dying to see. But, you know, we needed to lay the groundwork first so that they can have the payoff that is season 2.
And you guys are playing like really iconic people. Raekwon, you got Ghostface Killer. Like, have you guys met them?
Oh,
I
yeah.
haven't met him, but I talked to him over the phone, which was honestly good enough for me.
What was that experience like?
It was definitely dope. It's not like every day you talk to, you know, one of the founder members of the Wu-Tang Clan, you know. But I'm glad he took the time to talk to me because it really helped me, prepare for the role and how to execute it, and learn some things that I didn't know while I was doing my research, like looking at YouTube and reading his book and stuff like that. It was definitely dope. It's not like every day you talk to, one of the founding members of the Wu-Tang Clan, but I'm glad he took the time to talk to me because it really helped me, prepare for the role and how to execute it, and learn some things that I didn't know while I was doing my research, like looking at YouTube and reading his book and stuff like that. So yeah, it was definitely dope.
What about for you, Sadiq?
Yeah, I met Ghost. I met him first actually at Shameik's birthday dinner. And then, beyond that, we've run into each other a couple other times. We've had a couple conversations on the phone that for me were just more about understanding. We spoke on the phone for hours. We spoke about the show for maybe like 10 minutes, but then the rest of the conversation was just talking about life and how we see the world and God and, the path and the journey of it all. And through those conversations, I realized that a lot of the way that we think is similar. And that was more useful to me, than if I asked him questions about the show, because for me in my process, like I just like to, I feel like once I understand a person's like thought process and kind of like their inner, ideas about life, it's easier to, all the little minuscule details of the day-to-day stuff becomes a little bit easier to understand.
And Shameik, I want to ask you, how do you relate to your character? How do you go about embodying someone that, is real?
How do I relate to Raekwon? Shameik is very different from Raekwon. So it's kind of, I think the similarities are probably the confidence is definitely, I get that I'm arrogant a lot, you know what I'm saying, especially from people that don't know me, and people that do know me, it's pretty much like, you're still arrogant, you know what I'm saying? But the people that love me, you know what I'm saying, it's kind of like, they understand kind of like, arrogance is like, anyway, so I think that's kind of where it kind of, there might be that synergy there. It might take a certain type of person to play Raekwon authentically. And yeah, but as far as getting into him completely, it's I'm not from New York, so I feel like, again, my characters, whatever character I play, I am myself in everything. I don't like to be acting. That's my worst thing. I hate to act. You know what I'm saying? If I'm playing a role, I need to find me in it. You know what I'm saying? When I look at a script, I got kicked out of my acting class. I'm gonna start there. I was told I would never be an actor when I went to acting school. So when I look at a script, I see these words and I see black, you know what I'm saying? And I see white. That's how I look at a script. And then, but when I speak, it's like all of that white on the paper is like my personality, to color it. Because Sadiq can read the same line, or Damani can read the same line, Ashton can read the same line, Dave can read the same, but it's gonna sound different. It's gonna feel different. It's gonna be different because they're a different person, different spirit, different perspective. The words are like, we could say the same exact words, but it's gonna feel different with me. So that feeling is always what I have to, that's what acting is to me. Like the real, like when you're not acting, like what does it mean coming out of your mouth? And that part of it came from meeting Raekwon to me, like the actual nuances of, the shit that the stuff that he can't really like control. It's just like habit. His walk, that's his walk. You know what I'm saying? How he eats and stuff, he's not thinking about that. When he's talking in the eye get like, that's a habit of his. It's just like, it's there, and so that's kind of, I hope that answered your question.
So I want to ask you guys, and this is going to be tough, but if you could describe Wu-Tang in one word, what would it be?
Forever.
You
like that, huh?
Inspirational.
We'll go with timeless.
They're really good words. You guys definitely have a lot of reverence for the group, and that shows, you know, in what I've seen so far. But thank you. This was great. That's my time, so I'm gonna let you guys go. But I hope you guys have a great rest of your day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
How are you guys doing?
How you doing,
We're
Briana?
great.
So I wanted to ask you guys, you know, you're playing such pivotal members of, you know, rap history. Like, what is it like, you know, to play someone like, I'll ask you, TJ, like, what is it like playing ODB? Like, how do you bring such a person like that to life?
It's an honor playing ODB. Like, I just did a lot of research and I did a lot of studying behind the scenes, and I just took what I already knew growing up listening to the Wu-Tang Clan, and I applied that to the character. It's like I said, it's a dream come true. Like, I couldn't believe when I first got the call that they wanted me to play ODB. Like, when I originally auditioned, I was like, nah, I ain't doing that. But I actually went in and I did it, and they liked it and called us back. But yeah, it's just an honor and it's a blessing.
What about for you?
I met Jizza before I go to his concerts. I'm actually going to one tonight. So me and him, we built and we talk. So but using him as a guy to like actually play him is like the best thing ever. Like, yo, Jiz, like, what do you think during this time? Like that was a blessing in its own. Or not even speaking about acting, just speaking about life in general. Being able to have like a God like that, like, yo, just let me just tap in and build you. It's a blessing. I don't take it for granted.
Well, TJ, have you met any of the Wu-Tang Clan? I'll ask you that question.
Yeah, I think I met
TJ's not even on a show.
Yeah,
He's my stand-in.
I'm publicist.
He's my stand-in.
I'm his publicist. I met all of them. Except ODB.
Oh my god. Okay. So have you guys grew up being influenced by East Coast rap?
Yeah.
Yeah. East Coast rap, West Coast rap. But yeah, I love classic hip hop. Wu-Tang, part of that genre of classic hip hop that I grew up on. What about you, Janelle?
Yeah, definitely. I'm an East Coast kid, you know what I'm saying? So like being from Staten Island, that's all we listen to. Lox, Mobb Deep, Wu-Tang Clan. Yeah, that's definitely who my foundation. Fabulous, you know what I mean? That's who we rock with out here. Those are just some of our giants. We got a lot. Jada Kids, as y'all see in the verses. Dipset versus the Lox. Like, even though them two giants, they, like, I mean, but they came together. It's their story kind of like Wu-Tang. Everybody could have their own, like, that got their own clique. Even Dipset, they, like, look how they came together. You see what I'm saying? That's not easy to be able to work with three guys from Harlem, I mean, to come together and achieve a goal. That's the same thing Wu-Tang did.
And without giving away too much, can you guys tell us like what to expect throughout the season? I only got to watch episode 1 of season 2, so.
Oh man,
you can expect to be watching the greatest show on television September 8th, man. This is gonna be mad shit. I can't wait for the fans to see like the transformation of the characters into like who we know and love them as. It's gonna be crazy.
The music, the people, the audience wanted the music, and this is what we giving y'all into the 36 Chambers, Wu-Tang Clan.
Yeah.
What's been your favorite part of shooting the show so far?
Everything, just the whole journey. Waking up 4 or 5 in the morning, gotta go sit in that chair, waiting. It's a hurry up and wait game. You get the set, you wait around, then you go into production and get on in front of the camera. That whole journey is just like amazing. It's like a dream come true, and especially doing it for some icons that I've looked up to. It's like a dream job. Like, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, same. I love the whole process of it. Like waking up and playing the people where I grew up listening and loving. So just the whole process has been enjoyable.
That's great. Well, that was my time, guys.
Hey,
sorry?
Briana, appreciate it, Briana.
Yes.
You just got to throw up your W one time. You forget.
Never forget.
Wow.
This is great. So thank you guys so much.
Peace and blessings, Queen.
You
Peace and
too. Have a
blessings.
good day.